Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I think it was last year or the year before. Somebody dropped a message for me at WhatsApp. When I looked at the message, it was not from the class of people that usually send messages to me. The message came from an Igbo politician. The Igbo political class do not relate with people like me. They relate with people like themselves. But this guy was an Igbo politician and he requested for a meeting. I had already seen him several times on television. We talked briefly via WhatsApp and then he expanded the circle of, he brought in some more people and we began to have a conversation. And why did he seek me out? He sought me out because probably he came across my work or somebody told him to get in touch with me. And our desires dovetailed in some sections. Both of us are interested in the betterment of our ethnic group. While I'm solving the problem from the religious cultural angle, he was coming from the political angle. And we continue to talk. This week, we saw face to face for the first time. And we had a very healthy conversation. An Igbo rabbi was present and the secretary of Equiano Incorporated and Omenana Defenders was also present. The Igbo rabbi participated via remote connection while the three of us sat down together and had this conversation. I'll read out a summary of what the impressions I left with. I came away from the meeting with several impressions. One is that the politician that I met, he has a very good soul. When I watched him on television, I had the impression that he was a good man. But when I sat down with him and talked, I confirmed what I felt. I think it was last year. He has a good soul. He is what the Igbos will call a Zibo Mado. He's a good man, a good human being. If he gets into position of authority, like he becomes a governor, he becomes a minister, he becomes a local government chairman, he becomes anything he assumes any position with executive power, he will try to ameliorate the tough conditions faced by the Igbo people from that position. And he will also do well for other people that are not Igbos. Because I do not desire only the good of the Igbos, I desire the good of everybody. And this man talks about Africans and the black people. So I believe they are part of his concern too. Frankly, what I just said about this gentleman, I will not say the same thing about any of the Igbo politicians for now. Because I don't know them. And I do not know them because I do not want to know them. I do not know them because they have blocked access to themselves. When I was getting into my doctoral the last stages of my doctoral work, that is to write a dissertation, I was looking for materials everywhere. One book I saw, interestingly by somebody who may very well be Hausa or Fulani, is a book that I will try to locate again and give it some publicity. This guy wrote that the most egalitarian of peoples, the most democratic of peoples in years past, the Igbos, have ended up in the 21st century becoming the people separated by the widest gaps between the rich and the poor. So, I do not have money. I do not have a political position. So, Igbo politicians, I'm one of those they have blocked access to themselves to. Because I don't have money, I don't have access. So that is why I don't know them. And when they have heard about me and my works, they have looked away and closed their ears. Again, because I'm not a rich man. Another impression I came away with was that I and my team in Omenana Defenders have a lot of work to do to make the Igbo people to understand what Omenana is. I came away with that impression yesterday. For nearly 20 years, I have done nothing but tell the Igbo people what their life blood, that is Omenana, means. But I realized that I still have a lot of work to do. And why this work is onerous is because it is not taught. What they need to know are not taught in schools. How can you teach a person that for you to be able to learn how to become creative enough to produce what we use to engage with artificial intelligence, that you have to have a culture that moves you to be productive? The dichotomy here is that the Igbo person thinks that culture, stroke religion, and science are mutually exclusive. The Igbo person does not realize that it is the person that has a culture to inquire, a religion that has produced a culture that forces you to inquire, that created the computer, that creates automobiles, that creates the aeroplane. And why we are in trouble is that the only religion, or the religion that most pushes people to inquire, 99.9% of the people who own this religion do not know anything about it. When they think about Omenana, what they think about is sharing of kola nuts, engaging in masquerades. They do not think that Omenana laid down that Onya Jujua de Fuzo, that Omenana insists that you have to be inquisitive, you have to be inquiring. They do not remember this. They do not know that Omenana gave the Igbo people a language. They do not know that Omenana produced the Igbo food. They do not know that the difference between the Igbo person and the Yoruba person is Omenana. What the Igbo person thinks about is get a chicken, cut off the head, spill the blood on the ground, you are done with Omenana. This is just a religious ritual. Less than 1000% of what Omenana entails. Omenana gave the Igbo people identity. And when they tried to live like Omenana, they made a lot of progress. They were not behind the people that are doing all these things they think are science. I will stop here and continue very soon.